You can start, Prabhuji. We are live now.
All right. Okay, I'm just sending you the request to record on my computer. You can accept it. Okay. Who is the host?
Prabhuji is host.
Okay. Can you accept the request? Yeah. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णभस्ताय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नमः। नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right. So thank you all the devotees for joining and giving me opportunity to serve you all. So today what we'll be doing, I think the last 2 years during the month of Kartik, we have covered the pastimes of Mother Yashoda binding Lord Krishna, and as well as the Krishna delivering the two trees, Nilakuvir and Manugriva, the two demons, two demigods, sorry. Um, that also we have covered, and I think I have shared the commentary of the Acharyas. So I felt that this time the only thing that remains is the commentary of Damodar Ashtakam, which is provided by Srila Sanatana Goswami, and it is called as the Darshini Tika. So what we'll do is we will take up one verse from the Bhagavatam, because normally you're doing the Bhagavatam class every day, and we will go through the purport of the Prabhupada, and then we will discuss in detail about Sanatana Goswami's commentary on the Damodar Ashtakam. Okay. All right. Okay, Rupani Padmi Mataji, you had some suggestion, right? You had mentioned to me that you would like to take turns to read some, like the translation purport.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Mandarat Pranam, or Guru Prabhupada Guru Maharaj. Yes, Prabhuji, just wanted to, like go through the purport actually. So
Okay.
no, you can only read. We don't need to read, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I just joined. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna. All right. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, 9th chapter, verse number 11, and this title or the topic is Mother Yashoda binds Lord Krishna. Kritagasam tam prarudantam akshini kasantamajamachini swapaninana udvikshamanam bhaya vivalikshanam haste grihitva vishayanti avagurat. Synonyms: Krite Agasam, who is an offender; Tam unto Krishna; Praru Dantam, with a crying attitude; Aksini, his two eyes; Santam, rubbing; Anjat Masini, from whose eyes the blackish ointment. Oh, I think I forgot to share on screen. Okay, host has disabled participant screen sharing. Can you enable it?
Nikunj Raj Prabhuji, are you there? Hare Krishna.
Otherwise, the host can share the screen.
Yeah, actually, he's the host now. So
Yeah, so he has to allow. Actually, that has to be kept by default, enabled only.
Prabhuji,
yeah.
shall I make you the host or you want me to select?
I
No.
will
Oh, share.
just
Okay, share the screen, right?
share the screen. That's it there.
Okay, I'm doing that.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
No, actually, Prabhuji, you don't need to share your screen. You just enable me to share the screen.
Yeah. Yeah. Now is it fine, Prabhuji?
No, it is still not allowing me. You need to go to the share option, and then when you click on it, you will see allow everyone to share the screen.
Mm,
See, there is a share icon below.
yeah, I click the share, but it shows me screen option.
No. You what you do is there must be a side. I mean, see, along with the share option, I think on the side of it there is a small icon that will allow you to pop up, and it will show you multiple messages. So one of the messages will be allow the participants to share the screen. Are you able to see the share option, share screen option?
Yeah, I see that tab, share
Yeah.
screen.
Then you have to see there may be a small just besides that there will be a small icon which will allow you to pop up. Okay, can you make me the host?
Yeah, I
Let me
will do that, Prabhuji.
I'm able to do it from here.
Prabhuji, that's the best way if you become the host, you know?
Yeah, you are the
Yeah.
host now, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yeah, but the issue is that okay. No. So who is the host? I think you have made iPhone Muralidhar the host.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I think you have to change that. Also, Prabhuji, if you can make either of us, Pooja Mataji or me, co-host, so that way we can correlate if any disturbance or
Now,
muting to do. Yeah.
okay. Again, I think you are the host, and now you have to make me the host. All right. Yeah. I am the host now, and yes. So multiple participants can share simultaneously. This is what option actually you're supposed to do. All right. Anyways, let me share the screen. Okay. Now you're able to see the screen.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji.
All right. Okay. So I was reading the synonyms. All right. Anjad Masini, from whose eyes the blackish ointment was distributed all over his face with tears, saw Panina with his own hand, Udvik Shamanam, who was seen in that attitude by Mother Yashoda, Bhai Vival Ikshanam, whose eyes appeared distressed because of such fear of his mother, Haste by the hand, Ritva catching, Vishayanti, Mother Yashoda was threatening him, Avagurat, and thus she very mildly chastised him. Translation: when caught by Mother Yashoda, Krishna became more and more afraid and admitted to being an offender. As she looked upon him, she saw that he was crying, his tears mixing with the black ointment around his eyes, and as he rubbed his eyes with his hand, he smeared the ointment all over his face. Mother Yashoda, catching her beautiful son by the hand, mildly began to chastise him, purported by his divine grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. From these dealings between Mother Yashoda and Krishna, we can understand the existential position of a pure devotee in the loving service to the Lord. Yogis, Jnanis, Karmis, and Vedantists cannot even approach Krishna. They must remain very far away from him and try to enter his bodily effulgence. Although this also they are unable to do. Great demigods like Brahma and Shiva always worship the Lord by meditation and by service. Even the most powerful Yamraj fears Krishna. Therefore, as we find in the history of Vajamil, Yamraj instructed his followers not even to approach the devotees, what to speak of capturing them. In other words, Yamraj also fears Krishna and Krishna's devotees. Yet this Krishna became so dependent on Mother Yashoda that when she simply showed Krishna the stick in her hand, Krishna admitted to being an offender and began to cry like an ordinary child. Mother Yashoda, of course, did not want to chastise her beloved child very much, and therefore she immediately threw her stick away and simply rebuked Krishna, saying, "Now I shall bind you so that you cannot commit any further offensive activities. Now, for the time being, you can play with your playmates." This shows the position of a pure devotee in contrast with others like Gyanis, Yogis, and followers of Vedic ritualistic ceremonies in regarding the transcendental nature of the absolute truth. All right. So let us start with the commentary of Srila Sanatana Goswami, which is called as Digdarshini Tika. Okay. So we will start with text number 1 of the Damodar Ashtakam. Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Vrajamanam Yashodabhyalogaladavamanam Param Vishtamadhyantadudutta Gopya. Alright, translation. The Supreme Controller, who possesses an eternal form of blissful knowledge, whose glistening earrings swing to and fro, who manifests himself in Gokul, who stole the butter that the gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storerooms, and who then quickly jumped up and ran in retreat in fear of Mother Yashoda, but was ultimately caught. To that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. The commentary by Sri Sanatana Goswami to text number 1 of Damodar Ashtakam. All right. So before bowing before Sri Damodar Ishwar, who is accompanied by Sri Radha, I now commence my purport of Damodar Ashtakam entitled Digdarshini. So in the beginning of the Mool Slok, the very first intention is expressed by the word Namami. I bow down. Obeisances are thus offered with love and devotion before commencing the description of the Lord's specific characteristics of excellence that are exhibited by his Tattva, Roop, Leela, Gun, and so forth. Also mentioned is the essence of his own divine supremacy as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, manifested in Gokul, and also his distinctive features as the origin of all. Furthermore, the word Namami is indicative of an auspicious invocation, Mangalartham. At the start of all functions, it is customary to offer respects to Ishwar, which expresses and at the attitude of devotional service unto the Lord. For this reason, obeisances are offered first unto the Lord in this verse. So now Sanatan Goswami examines the Tattva Vishesh, or the excellence of the Lord's truth. So obeisances unto whom? Unto Ishwar, the Supreme Controller, namely he who is Sarva Shaktiman, endowed with all potencies. First, second, Jagate Nath, the only Lord of the universe. And third, Nij Prabhu, my own master. So in the first instance, he is addressed as such in order to obtain the power of Shakti needed to offer the prayer. In the second instance, he is addressed as such to indicate that he is the one and only Lord who is praiseworthy. In the final instance, he is addressed as such to signify the specific nature of bhakti or devotion. Now, how is he manifest? As Sachidananda Rupam, or a form composed of compressed clouds of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. This is the statement of his supreme sovereignty in regards to his Tattva Vishesh, attribute or excellence of truth. Now, Rupa Vishesh, the excellence of this beauty is described. His distinct excellence of beauty is illustrated as follows. Lasanti, the swinging of his earrings, was manifested when he ran away in fear of Mother Yashoda, or also his earrings spot upon his cheeks as a result of his continuously playing in the transcendental pastimes of childhood. Thus, his divinely splendorous face is especially portrayed. Or also, yet another meaning of Lasat Kundalam is due to the Maha Saubhagya or great fortune of personally kissing his divine cheeks. These earrings have attained a position of super excellence above all his other ornaments. And this super excellence also indicates the fortune of other ornaments adorning his various limbs. Furthermore, Lasanti indicates that these earrings are glistening because they are enriched with the splendorous effulgence of the Lord's bodily complexion. Therefore, Krishna's body is the ornament of his ornaments. That is the meaning. Consequently, it is stated by the gopis in the 10th canto. So, Srinath Sanatan Goswami is also giving some praman, evidence, to say what he is claiming. I mean, substantiate what he is claiming. So, this is from the 10th canto, 29th chapter, Rasa Panchadhyay, 40th verse. O Shri Krishna, by seeing your beauty, which attracts the three worlds, these cows, bird, trees, and deer are all experiencing their hairs standing on end. What is the wonder then if we are also bewildered? So very interesting. Actually, Laghu Bhagavatam Srila Rupa Goswami mentions a very important point. He says that Krishna's personality is extremely unique at the same time, and that's why he's Supreme Personality of Godhead, because amongst all the different forms of the Lord, Krishna is praised to be the form which displays the maximum qualities compared to any other form of the Lord. And this makes him extraordinarily unique. So Rupa Goswami says that after going through all the avatars, in this time the Vishnu Puran, and Vishnu Puran is actually there's a conversation of Maitreya Muni and Parasar Muni, sorry. And Parasar Muni, when he's describing the avatars of the Lord, finally comes to the form of Krishna. And he's astonished to describe about the form of Krishna, because he says that only Krishna's form that has given liberation to the demons. This is stated in Vishnu Puran itself, not even in Bhagavad Puran. But although in Vishnu Puran we see that Lord Krishna, Vishnu is repeatedly emphasized as being the supreme. But when it comes to describing Krishna, Parasar Muni also is astonished, and he's saying that uh, previously no one actually displays all these kind of qualities, and then he remembers one unique quality of Krishna, which is that only Krishna can give liberation to demons. No other form of the Lord has given liberation to demons, right? So then he compares the avatar of Nrsimhadev and avatar of Lord Ram, and he says that Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Kumbhakarna, and Ravan, they did not attain liberation, they did not attain moksha. Only when Krishna personally killed them, then only they attain moksha. So he's astonished. At the same time, Rupa Goswami also quotes from the Bhagavatam, and then he also shows that when Krishna leaves Vrindavan, I mean, what to speak of leaving Vrindavan, sorry. Uh, each and every single day, whenever Krishna left the forest, and because Krishna, he leaves his house and goes to the forest. He has his pastime with his sakhas, and then he has pastime with the gopis, and then in the evening he will come back to his house. So in the interim, there is feelings of separation. There is ecstasy which is felt by the plant, trees, animals, and all of these different jivas. But in the case of Lord Ramchandra, this kind of ecstasy and separation was only felt when Lord Ramchandra actually left Ayodhya. So only in particular instance. So it happens only sometimes, very rarely. But with Krishna Leela, it happens very frequently. It is like every day it happens. So again indicating that Krishna actually is the only one who can bestow all happiness. He can bestow, he can completely remove the distress of the living entities to the fullest extent. Because when you talk about removing distress, it is basically to give them liberation ultimately. Because even if you nullify their sinful reactions. But if they come to the material world and again they start committing sinful activities, then they have to bear the reactions of their karmas. But when you give liberation to someone, then that cycle itself gets completely over. So there is no question of any karma. So that liberation is only given by Krishna. So that's why he is the, to the fullest extent, he's the only one who can actually remove the distress of everyone. Okay. And he also bestows the greatest happiness. And this is what this praman is provided by Sanatana Goswami, and Rup Goswami and Jeev Goswami also comments in Bhakti Samrit Sindhu. So he's the only one who can actually bestow the highest level of happiness. And then he does not just give liberation to demons, but sometimes he can also award them prem towards him. So he can actually make them go back to Godhead. Okay, and allow them to the service to Krishna in the spiritual world. So this only Krishna can bestow. No one else can bestow. And Krishna is also the one who can actually bestow everything. Okay, because he's the source of all incarnation. That's why he can bestow everything. Whatever the other forms of God can bestow, definitely he can bestow that. But beyond that also, he can bestow a lot of things more. Right? So this is the special uniqueness, extraordinary feature of Krishna's personality. And this is also stated by Srila Rupa Goswami. So Krishna's beauty also, it bestows the highest level of ecstasy and happiness. Okay, all right. Coming to the Rasa Panchadaya verse 10, 29, 40. Or yeah, I think we have already read this. And then Sanatana Goswami quotes another verse from third canto, Bhagvatam 3.2.12. It is also stated by Uddhav to Vidur regarding Shri Krishna's beauty. Shri Krishna's beauty is so enchanting that it even astonishes himself. That beauty represents the supreme zenith of great opulence, so much so that he is actually the ornament of his ornaments. As Sanatana Goswami also states here, that the kundal was actually, it became, uh, they were glistening, and that glistening came because of the effulgence of Krishna's body. So, in one sense, Krishna's body itself is a great ornament. It's the highest ornament compared to any other ornaments on his body. And this is what is also stated by Uddhav in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And so, Param Padam Bhushanam Bhushanangam. And Krishna, the thing is that Krishna is so attractive, he's so beautiful, that he attracts himself. And so, the question is that, okay, who can attract the Supreme Personality of Godhead? No one. So, other than himself, he cannot be attracted by anyone else. Of course, Radharani can also attract, but Radharani is also internal potency of the Lord. But in general, only Krishna can attract himself, and that's why even Krishna himself gets attracted to his own beauty. Okay, so this is what Sanatana Goswami is trying to convey. Yeah. All right. So let's go further. Now the Parivar Vishesh, or attributes of his family, portray his unique excellence. The word Gokul indicates that place where Gopal, Gopi, calves, and so forth reside. The word Brajmanam indicates a particularly befitting place where he can manifest an excellence that surpasses that of previous Leelas. Moreover, he is splendorous because only in Gokul does he manifest his Swabhavika Shobha, or most natural characteristics of brilliance. It is stated in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, 10.32.14. Bhagavan Shri Krishna, who sits upon the asan formed in the lotus-like hearts of the Siddha Yogis, manifesting a body that is the abode of all splendor of the three worlds. He sat upon the asan presented by the gopis, was worshipped by them, and thereby radiated even more splendor. So, Sanatana Goswami is again indicating that this is only possible, or the highest manifestation of Krishna's extraordinary qualities is only possible in Gokul, in Vrindavan. Because we have also heard that Vrindavanam Parityajam Padam Ekam Na Gacchati. Krishna never leaves one step out of Vrindavan, right? And who goes to Mathura and Dwarka? It is basically the Vasudeva expansion of Krishna. So Krishna in his original form as Shyamsundar, Brajendra Nandan, Nandan Nandana, Yashoda Nandan, he lives in Vrindavan always. He never leaves Vrindavan. So, and we have discussed in detail about the uh, you know in the class the tattva of Krishna's lila, where I explained that uh, Krishna is present in Vrindavan is a prakat manifestation, whereas in prakat form he goes to Mathura and Dwarka in his Vasudeva expansion, right? Um, and then about his appearance also, his birth. So we also know that our acharyas say that Krishna appeared simultaneously to Yashoda Maya as well as Devki in Mathura as well as in Braj, right? This fact is secret, it is mysterious, it is hidden. So all this is explained in that I had explained. Maybe this was like 1 year back or 2 years back, but I've explained all this concept in the Tattva of Krishna's Lila. Yeah, so this kind of manifestation is only because Vrindavan is the highest manifestation of intimacy towards the form of Krishna. So that's why the um, the topmost qualities are displayed only in Vrindavan. You cannot find it anywhere else. And that's why you'll see that Krishna's beauty is the topmost in Vrindavan compared to Mathura and Dwarka also. Okay. So his excellence of Leela Vishesh or attributes of his pastimes are stated in the last lines of the verse. The word Yashoda indicates Yashodaya or from his mother Yashoda. Bhiya indicates the fear of being punished for his offense of breaking the yogurt pots, stealing fresh butter, and so forth. Ulukala denotes from the motor. In order to steal the fresh butter suspended from the rafters, he took a large wooden grinding motor that was kept in the same storeroom, turned it on end, and climbed up on it. But spotting his mother coming into the room with a stick in her hand, he immediately gets down again. Bhavamanam, he speedily runs away. In this regard, if one desires to know the particulars of this pastime, it can be found in the 10th canto. So 10.8, 9.8 to 9. And we just read 11th verse. So this is just like 2 verses before. Then Sri Krishna turned the grinding motor on end, climbed upon it, and began distributing the fresh butter, hanging from the rafters to the monkeys, as freely as he liked. Due to knowledge of his own mischievous thievery, his eyes fearfully darted this way and that way. Mother Yashoda saw him doing this and slowly crept up from behind to catch him. But he noticed her coming with a stick in her hand, and he quickly got down from the motor and started running away, just like a person stricken with fear. Even though highly advanced yogis are enabled by the strength of their tendencies to merge their minds with Brahm, still they cannot get a glimpse of this scene of Yashoda Devi chasing her son Krishna from behind while attempting to catch him. Then Tato Dhrutya, she ran very swiftly. Due to the Samas conjunction, these two words become one. Gopya by Sri Yashoda, Param Rishtam, catching hold of his back. Here the words Atyantato Dutya, running behind Krishna very swiftly, imply the Saundarya Vishesh, excellence of beauty of Yashoda's full breasts, broad hips, and so on, as well as the particulars of her affection for her son. The loving use of the word Gopya connotes the grand fortune that came upon the Gopa caste by Krishna preferring to appear among them. By the word Paramrishtam, caught by his back, the unique attribute of super excellent affection that Bhagwan Shri Krishna feels for Yashoda Mata, Sneha Vishesh, is intimated. In this regard, one may also search out the following verse from the Bhagavatam, 10 canto, 9 chapter, 10th verse, which is 1 verse before 11th verse. While chasing after Krishna, the slim-waisted Yashoda's broad hips caused her pace to slow down. From running quickly, the flowers had come loose from her hair and were falling after her, but she still continued to pursue him. In this fashion, after chasing and chasing him, she finally caught him from behind. So I do remember there's also some acharya who says that the flowers also they are conscious in the spiritual world and in Krishna Lila. So they were thinking that okay, I would not be a part of this game, and I would want Yashoda to catch Krishna. So let me fall down from her hair so that some weight can be reduced and then she can easily catch Krishna. So this is what the flowers were thinking, and they just jumped from her hair like that. And similarly, the milk which was boiling, the milk also started thinking that what is the use of my life? Because when the milk saw that Krishna was actually having milk from Mother Yashoda's breast, so what is the use of my life? Because my entire existence is actually meant to serve Krishna. So let me commit suicide. So then the milk started boiling, and it started coming up like that. It started, drifting off like that. So the milk was also conscious, the flowers were also conscious, and they were trying to render service to Krishna. All right. So the first, the commentary on the first text is completed. Now we'll go to second verse. Rudantam muhurnetram yubam rijantam param bhojayudumena satanganetram mushashakam bhaktire gagakanta stitha daivam namodaram bhaktivadam. Translation: upon seeing his mother's whipping stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful and his breathing quick. And as Mother Yashoda bound his belly with ropes, he shivered in fright and his pearl necklace shook. To the Supreme Lord Shri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. So, commentary by Sanatana Goswami. After this, Krishna's Leela Vishesh, excellence of pastimes, is mentioned as confirmed in the Bhagavatam 10.9.11, the verse that we have taken today. So, we'll skip the verse. All right, so the details of this pastime are now spoken of in the second verse, beginning with Rudantam. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand and apprehending being stuck with it, he behaved as if terrified so that she would see his distress and think, oh, he's afraid of being punished. He hoped that by her seeing this attitude of his, she would not hit him with the stick, thinking in this way that he would be spared punishment. Therefore, Karamboja Yugmena Netra Yugmam Rijantam. He rubbed both eyes again and again with both of his lotus like hands at the same time. This is natural characteristic of Balya Lila and indeed the normal habit of small children. Or else, Karamboj Yugmena Netra Yugmam Brijantam may also indicate that by the influence of his fright, many tears were actually forming in his eyes. Therefore, he rubbed them again and again in order to make the tears fall out. Or furthermore, he rubbed his eyes again and again in order to wipe away the tears that were falling again and again. This is yet another meaning. Now, Satanka Netram, dreading his mother's punishment, his eyes expressed how much he was terrified in his mind. Or else it refers to his glancing this way and that way in extreme fear. In this regard also, it tries to avoid being punished. Thus, another confidential pastime is disclosed here. Moreover, Mushvasena, due to his crying and sobbing again and again, Kampat, trembling, Rekena, marked with the three lines just like a conch shell, Kantestitam Graivam, all his neck ornaments like pearl necklaces and so forth. He who appears this way, Damodaram, whose belly is tied with a rope. He is described thus in the Bhagavatam 10.9.14. Just an ordinary mother binds her naughty son, Yashoda Mata considered Krishna to be ordinary child and tied him to the grinding motor with a rope. In stating that knots were tied on the rope both to his belly and to the motor, this indicates the particulars of Krishna's excellence called Bhakta Vatsalya, or his quality of coming under the control of his devotees. Bhaktiyaiva Baddham. This refers to he who responds only to bhakti in the following two ways. From his mother's viewpoint, He is bound by the loving parental devotion she feels for her son. From his viewpoint, he is bound by his mother's devotion in the form of Bhakt Vatsalya. Badam, he willingly accepted the binding, although no rope had the power to bind him. Thus, Mother Yashoda eventually collected all the ropes in her household, but upon tying them together, the length still came out 2 fingers too short to fit around his waist. This is described in the following slokas from the Bhagavatam 10.9, 15 to 17. While tying up the naughty child, the rope came out 2 fingers too short. So Mother Yashoda tied another length to it. This rope also came out 2 fingers short. So she tied yet another length to that one. But no matter how many ropes she added, it always ended up too short. Thus, she was unable to bind him, even by combining all the ropes in the house. Then her gopi friends began to smile, and she herself also began to smile and laugh in astonishment. Furthermore, the reason for this characteristic of the rope around his waist is Bhaktiyaiva Badam. He can be bound only by devotion and nothing else. By this, he becomes controlled. Such is certainly the conclusion of the aforementioned description. In this connection, it is further stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:9, 18 to 21. While attempting to buy Krishna, Yashoda became fatigued from tying so many ropes together again and again, and she perspired as the flower garlands in her hair fell loose. Then the young child Shri Krishna saw her weariness and mercifully consented to being tied up. O Maharaj Parikshit, although he controls the entire universe along with his highly qualified demigods, the supreme independent Hari thus displayed how he comes under the control of his devotees. Therefore, this Gopi, Yashoda Mata, receives such a benediction from he who awards liberation, a favor not granted to Lord Brahma Maheshwar or even Lakshmi Devi herself, who sports as half the body of all the Lord's incarnations. Bhagwan Gopika Suta, the Supreme Lord appearing as the son of covered woman, is thus readily available for his devotees, yet remains far away from those absorbed in the bodily concept of the eightfold yoga practices, as well as those focusing on visions of the self through intellectual pursuits. In other words, the tapasvis and the jnanis, they embark on a very difficult path of spiritual searching, but being completely unable to attain Bhagwan, at best can end up realizing only a minute fraction of Lord Krishna's minute fraction of Lord Krishna's true glory. So these verses from the Bhagavatam indicate direct proof of all such conclusions. Elsewhere in the Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 10th chapter, 25th verse, it's also mentioned, because Devarshi Narad is my very dear devotee, and because these two boys are the sons of my devotee Kuvera, I will deliver them in order to fulfill the words previously spoken by Mahatma Narada. The purport of these words spoken by Shri Krishna is that it totally depends on the devotion of Sri Narad. Being pleased with Narad's bhakti, Krishna therefore dragged the grinding motor and broke down the two trees in which the cursed brothers stood. This is why the Lord performed these and indeed all other pastimes, because of the devotion of his devotees. So here also Sanatana Goswami has highlighted and he has uh, brought forth the characteristics of Bhakt Vatsalya. Because of the devotees' affection for the Lord, he performs all these pastimes. That's the only reason why the Lord is actually performing the pastimes in the material world. That's the primary reason. And yeah, I also remember one of the commentaries. It also mentions about um, the fortune of these trees, Arjuna trees, who are the demigods, Nalkuvera and Manigriva. And this, like, so the acharyas say that I think it is Kavi Karnapur or maybe some other acharya. I don't remember now. But so he says that these trees, they were so fortunate because they became Rajvasis, and they also served the Rajvasis. They got to serve the Rajvasis. Like for example, many coward boys and the coward community, they used to go and take shelter of the tree, and like the trees were providing them shade, they were providing them fruits, and many other kind of services. So that way they were rendering service to the Rajvasis, and that also made Krishna endear to him very much, like that. So that's the reason also Krishna gave them mercy. Of course, Brajvasis are at a very advanced stage. They are greater than Narad Muni also. So this is what our acharyas they share. They give this wonderful insight. Okay, now let's go to text 3. Itri Dakshvalilabir Ananda Kunde Swagosham Nimajantam Akyapayantam Tadiyeshu Dameshu Bhaktijitanam Una Premadastam Shatavriti Vande. Translation: those super excellent pastimes of Lord Krishna's babyhood drowned the inhabitants of Gokul in pools of ecstasy. To the devotees who are attracted only to his majestic aspect of Narayan in Vaikuntha, the Lord herein reveals, I am conquered and overwhelmed by pure loving devotion. To the Supreme Lord Damodar, my obeisances hundreds and hundreds of times. Okay, commentary by Srila Sanatana Goswami. All right. So now the excellences of his guna vishesh, attributes of his qualities, are expressed in this verse. Beginning with the word iti, it depicts the reason for his coming under the sway of his devotees. And furthermore, iti means by this Damodar Leela. It also connotes idrishibhischa, by all Sri Krishna's supremely enchanting childhood pastimes like Damodar Leela. The word swasya indicates his own uncommonly divine pastimes, Leela being, by all his sportive pastimes. He drowns all the living beings of Gokul in ecstasy. This is confirmed by many statements of the Srimad Bhagvatam, such as the following: 10th canto, 11th chapter, 7 to 8 verse. If you dance, then we will give you sweet. By these words, or by clapping their hands, the elder gopis sometimes induce Krishna to dance. Thus, Bhagwan danced just like ordinary child. Sometimes they made him sing, and he therefore sang just like a bewildered innocent boy. In this way, he came under the control of the coward woman, exactly like a wooden puppet on strings. Sometimes his relatives would order him to bring their shoes, chair, or measuring pot. But if he was unable to lift the article, he would grasp it firmly and, just to please his dear relatives, flap his elbows again and again to demonstrate his childish strength. On the basis of these conclusions of the Bhagavatam, it is further stated, Swa Gosham means all the living beings dwelling in Gokul. Ananda Kunde Nimajantam. He immersed them in a deep pool brimming with liquid bliss mellows. Therefore, it is declared in the Bhagavatam verse quoted, Swaram Pritim Samudvaham. By these actions, he stimulated the complete love of his dearmost relatives, and furthermore, the word Goshak additionally means the loud proclamation of his glories. Similarly, the word Swa also connotes either Swasya or Swanam, that either his own glory or the glories of the Gopas and Gopis is proclaimed by these pastimes. In this mood, he personally drowned all of them in pools of bliss, Ananda Kunde Nimajantam, and they experienced a very special excellence of supreme happiness, Param Sukha. And furthermore, it is especially noted, Tadi Yeshita Gnyasu, unto those who are attached to the knowledge of the Lord's majestic opulence and who worship him accordingly, he declares Bhakta Jitatvam. Only in front of his own pure devotees does he become totally submissive, being conquered by the loving devotion, Akyapayantam. He has fully displaced this quality for all to see. The meaning is, I willingly become submissive to the control of my servants who are attached to bhakti, but I will never submit myself to those fond of jnana. This is confirmed in the Bhagavatam 10:11:9. Bhagwan Shri Krishna has proclaimed to the bhaktas of the universe who are fond of Aishwarya Gyan that he is fully submissive only to his own pure devotees. The meaning of this Bhagavatam verse is, the word Tad Vidam indicates devotees who are attached to Bhagavad Aishwarya Gyan. Or yet another meaning is Tadiyanam, suggests that he displays this quality of submission to his devotees only in front of those who are already aware of the prabhav or power of his most dear favorite devotees. He does not exhibit this feature to others. The reason for such behavior is those who are unaware of the special glories of the Vaishnavas and those who cultivate Keval Gyan, impersonal knowledge, are unqualified to be presented with a display of supremely confidential truth regarding devotion and the glories of devotion. In this mood, a further meaning of Tad Vidam from the Bhagavatam verse 10:11:9 quoted above is this word reveals Bhritya Vatsyata Vidam, or those who are unaware of Sri Krishna's quality of submitting to his devotees. Now, in Damodarashtakam, the word Premata denotes with an excellence of love and devotion. Satavriti means hundreds and hundreds of times. Tam, unto that Ishwar. Puna Vande, I repeatedly offer my respectful obeisances. Therefore, the only thing worshipful for me is to offer my obeisances unto the super excellence of the process of bhakti, which brings the Supreme Lord under the control of his devotees. Such a condition can never come about through Aishwarya Gyan or knowledge of his divine majesty. This alone is the mood of devotee offering this specific prayer. So this completes the commentary on the third verse. Okay, I'm just coming in now, few 2 seconds. Yeah, so it's very clearly established that how the Lord is only conquered by intimate loving devotion to him, which is basically the kind of love that the Vrajvasis have for him. And it's not possible with the form of Lord Vishnu. So this pastime is only possible with Krishna. It is not possible with Vishnu or any other form of the Lord. Okay, so let's go to the next verse, 4. Varam deva moksham na moksham manimva nachanyam prineyam varishadapiha idam deva purnata gopala balam sada me manasa birastam kimanyay. Translation: O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for liberation, nor eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon. My only prayer is that your childhood pastimes may constantly appear in my mind. O Lord, I do not even want to know your feature of Paramatma. I simply wish that your childhood pastime may ever be enacted in my heart. Commentary of Sanatana Goswami. In this way, continuing the description of Lord's particular excellences, the prayer progresses with a request that mentions one's cherished desires. This is presented in 2 verses, 4 and 5, starting with the word Varam. The word Deva means O supremely effulgent one, or it also implies O Lord engaged in super excellent sweet sports. The word Iya means here in Vrindavan, Parishad from you. Who can bestow any benediction? Varam na vrine. I do not seek any boon. Specifically, I do not pray for moksha, the fourth purushartha or the goal of human life, to achieve freedom from material contact by merging into Brahman effulgence. Nor do I pray for moksha of Adhim, the highest supreme zenith of liberation, in the form of eternally living in Sri Vaikuntha Lok, where the excellence of life is the nature of thickly condensed happiness. Nor do I pray for anyancha, other things such as the 9 methods of devotional service headed by Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, etc. I do not desire the boons that may be obtained by any of these processes. Furthermore, even if you want to give them to me, and additionally, even if others consider such things to be very appealing, here, here in Vrindavan, I do not have the slightest desire for them. This word here can also be used in relation to the statements of the rest of the verse. It is naturally understood that the 3 benedictions refer to moksha, which is liberation, mokshavadi, the highest zenith of liberation, which is basically Vaikuntha, and Anya, other things, all reflect an ascending level of superiority, each being greater than the last one. In this regard, the superiority of Vaikuntha to impersonal liberation is clearly described in Srila Sanatana Goswami's Bhagavatam, Uttarakhand 1.14 to 15, and the superiority of the 9 process of devotion headed by Shravanam to Vaikuntha Lok is described in the Bhagavatam 3.15.49. And the verse is as follows: the four Kumaras headed by Sanat, after cursing the disrespectful devotees named Jay and Vijay, said to Lord Vishnu, who had just appeared, "O Lord, we pray that you let us be born in any hellish condition of life, um, as long as our ears are filled with chanting of your transcendental qualities." So this verse is actually provided by Sanatana Goswami to establish that how the 9 limbs of bhakti, they are superior to Vaikuntha Lok. So by this word, these words, it becomes evident that the 9 process of devotion, beginning with Shravanam, can be perfected even while living in hell, wherever one is and in whatever condition of life. One thereby experiences the perfection of living in the eternal abode of the Vaikuntha. This being the case, then what boon does want from the Lord? The answer is given in this 4th verse of Damodarashtakam. He Nath, Iha idam te vapur gopala balam. O Lord, this form of yours has covered child in Vrindavan. Sada me manasi avirastam. May such form ever be manifest in my mind. He is Antaryami. Since he is Antaryami, situated as the indwelling super soul, he may be seen manifesting the divine beauty of his every limb within one's heart, just as clearly as one sees directly with the eyes. Still, even if Krishna were to personally address the devotee and offer, "Oh hey, the above mentioned 3 kinds of boons, beginning with moksha, are not ordinary. They are most desirous, and anyone who would immediately accept them. Would you accept them?" The answer is given herein. Kim anye. What is the use of all these things? They have no value to me. This is the meaning. The reason behind this attribute is Sri Krishna is composed of all this in the universe. So if he is attained, then everything else is automatically attained and perfectly attained. But if one cannot attain Krishna, then the imperfection perceived in the absence of the desired goal especially creates a grand distaste and lamentable misery at the mere thought of attending something of lesser value. Therefore, it is said here that other boons are useless. Kim anye, what good they are. This is the mood. Or else, the words kim anye show yet another meaning. Again, the Lord may ask, even though you do not pray for the boons beginning with moksham, would you care then for the boon of directly seeing and conversing with my supremely worshipable four-armed form of Sri Narayan and other Aishwarya Maya Murtis? The answer remains the same. Ki maniye, other boons are useless to me. The intention behind this is, if your divine form of covered child, which is the crest jewel of all splendors, would always be manifest in my heart, then I would feel very, very pleased. Nothing short of that would satisfy me. This is the mood. For further details regarding the glories of Antar Darshan, seeing the Lord within the heart, please see Brihad Bhagavatam, Uttarakhand 2.86 to 96. Therein, the sage Sri Pilayana on the planet Tapalok has explained all these principles very elaborately. Now, the Damodar prayer offered by Satyavrat Muni similarly demonstrate that the longing for inner darshan is the best goal of all, and from this prayer, all these things can be clearly understood. So, this ends the commentary on the text 4. Right? So, nothing, even moksha, which is basically moksha in terms of attaining Vaikuntha, that is also not desirable at all. Right? And this is what is established by Srila Sanatana Goswami. And this is the desire of Satyavat Muni also. Okay, so text number 5. Idam te mukham mojam atyanta lile vitam kuntale snigdha raktashta gopya mujam idam mimmarata dharam me manasya virasdam malam lakshalabhay. Translation: O Lord, the cheeks of your blackish lotus face, which is encircled by locks of curling hair, have become reddened like bimba fruits due to Mother Yashoda's kisses. What more can I describe than this? Billions of appearances are of no use to me. But may this vision constantly remain in my mind. So the commentary. And furthermore, the longing to see your Sri Mukh, your divine lotus face, that is Parama Manohar, supremely enchanting, is stated in this verse, beginning with Idam Te. Sometime while one is meditating deeply within and perceives such indescribable beauty and splendor, that is what is revealed in this verse. His face is Prafulla Kamalakar. It resembles a fully blossomed lotus flower. Nikhila Santapahari. His face is the remover of all kind of distress. And Paramananda Rasamai. It is pervaded with the supreme mellows of pure bliss. That lotus face, Manasi Moher Abhirastam, may it be revealed again and again within my mind. What does that face look like? Lotus face look like? It is surrounded by curling hair. It is surrounded Vitam by curling hair, Kuntal, that is very dark blue, Avyakta Nila, glossy, snigdha, and tinged with red, Rakta. The word Vitam suggests that just as a lotus flower is surrounded with hovering honeybees, similarly the Lord lotus face is encircled by with curly locks that bounce around every whenever he moves. The word Gopya by the Gopi indicates that his face is kissed again and again by either Sri Yashoda or Sri Radha. The word Moho again and again is relative to this word Gopya and it reads properly exactly where it is in the verse. This being the case, may that divine lotus face, Muhus Chumbitam, kissed repeatedly by the supremely fortunate Gopi, Mama Manasi, in my mind, Abhirastam, may it manifest even once. This is the meaning. Or else, the word Sada, always, found in the previous verse, carries over to this definitive conclusion in the present verse, thereby indicating may it always manifest. This intention can also be accepted. Finally, that lotus face is especially described thus Bimba Vad Raktadaram. He whose lotus lips are he whose lips are cherry red like the bimba fruit. If that form is manifest within my mind, I will be fully satisfied. Therefore, it is said about Lakshya Labhe, the attainment of millions and millions of other types of benedictions. Alam, they are of no use to me whatsoever. This is the meaning. This is most definitely the message that is conveyed by the fifth verse. So the commentary to the fifth verse also is completed. Now let's go to the sixth verse. नमो देवदामोदरनन्तविष्णु प्रसीद प्रबोध कजलब्धिमग्नम् विभोदृष्टिविश्याति दीनमदानो गणेशमामज्ञमिनियक्षिदृश्य. Translation. O unlimited Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, be pleased upon me. I am drowning in the ocean of sorrow and am almost like a dead man. Please shower the rain of mercy on me, uplift me, and protect me with your nectarian vision. Commentary. Now, by the potency of prayer, feelings of spontaneous love arise, and one especially craves to have the direct vision of the Lord. In this regard, when referring to topics about Sakshat Darshan or direct vision of the Lord, only Sri Nam Sankirtan is the Parama Sadhana or supreme method for this attainment. After fixing his beauty in the mind, one then offers sorrowful prayers by way of Sri Nam Sankirtan. As in this verse beginning with Namo, in the text of a Mool Shlok, such as the sixth verse, usually the word Tubhyam, unto you, would be found in order to complete the sense of prayer. But in this case, the excitement of prema causes the reciter to neglect all feelings of awe and reverence. Therefore, in the mood of being in the personal presence of the Lord, the word Tubhyam is neglected. Hey Prabhu means he, uh, the Ishvara, O my controller, offering you my obeisances, I beg. Prasid, this word indicates prasadam. or be pleased with me and show your mercy. The reason for praying is I am Dukh Jalabdi Magnam, immersed in the ocean of misery. Specifically, the word dukkha, pain, misery, distress, indicates either the agony of repeated birth and death in the samsaric material world, or else the torment of not seeing you, results in feelings of ocean like infinite desolation. Jalam, meaning net, illusion, deception, and abdi, ocean, denotes the extreme vastness. So, by the force of my own karma, I am thus magnam, submerged. I am tortured by all these harsh afflictions. Therefore, I am ati dinam, very distressed. Or else, another meaning of the word ati dinam is I am completely bereft of the association of saintly persons, and consequently, without their assistance, I am extremely fallen. Or else, yet another meaning is due to not seeing you, I am just like a living dead man. In this regard, I am also agnam. I am particularly ignorant about how to resolve this problem. Then, Kripaya uh, Drishti Vitsya, showing your own mercy, please shower me with your nectar laden glances. Anugriyana, thereby uplifting me and once more enthusing me with life. This alone is the purport of the prayer. Then, Akshidrishyo Hedi, please become visible before my eyes. Prayers are usually made according to the sequence in which this one is prayed. As such, it is not appropriate in this case to first mention the boon that is being requested, due to its nature of being the topmost of rarely attained benedictions. The glory of attaining the direct vision of the Lord, Sakshat Darshan, within the mind is explained very logically by the personal associates of the Lord. In the Brihad Bhagavatam, Uttarakhand, 3rd chapter, 179 to 182 verses. From this passage, one may gain specific knowledge of these topics. Now, the devotional kirtan of the Lord's name, used to address him at the beginning of the moon slok, will be explained. In the 6th verse, the word Deva indicates He Divya Rupa, O Lord of divine beauty. This beauty is the cause of desiring his darshan. The address of Damodar intimates specifically that he is glorified for the excellence of Bhakta Vatsalya or affection for his devotees, up to the point of allowing them to bind him around the waist. Therefore, I will be qualified only by bhakti to see him with my own eyes. He who has no end, whose mercy has no limits, is addressed as Ananta. Therefore, he will certainly shower his glance of mercy and thus favor me. The address Prabhu connotes the Achintya Ananta Adbhuta Mahashakti Yukta. O you who are endowed with inconceivable, limitless, astonishingly grand potency. Therefore, you who cannot be perceived by the senses can only become visible to my eyes by dint of the same inconceivable Shakti of yours. Addressing him as Isha suggests he is Parama Swatantra. Oh, you who are independent, supremely independent. In showing your favor even to unfit souls, you are dependent on no one else. And moreover, the address Vishnu means he is Sarva Vyapak, or O you who are all pervading. Furthermore, it means O you who are fond of entering into Vrindavan's secluded caves and bower cottages. Praying like this indicates that it is not difficult for him to come before one's eyes. He does not have to labor hard to come from a distance. So some additional interpretation of the above mentioned forms of address are also shared. Or else he Ananta means that he is aparichinna or continuously existent without interval or separation. The address of Vishnu means he is a Sarva Vyapin or living everywhere. Therefore, he, Damodar, proclaims him thus. Under the sway of his own Parama Vatsalya Vishesh or supremely affectionate tribute, there is absolutely nothing that he cannot do. The purport of the other words used for addressing him may also be understood in terms of these expanded indications. So the commentary to the 6th slok is also completed. Now let's go to the verse number 7. कुबेरात्मजवदमृतैव यद्वन् त्वया भक्तिभाजवृतं च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकं मे प्रयच्छ Namakshe Grahame Stidhamodare. Translation: O Lord Damodar, in your form as a baby mother Yashoda, bound you to a grinding stone with a rope for tying cows. You then freed the sons of Kuera, Manigriv, Nalukuvara, who were cursed to stand as trees, and you gave them the chance to become your devotees. Please bless me in the same way. I have no desire for liberation into your effulgence. So, commentary: in this way, by the attributes of pure ecstatic love, prema vishesh, one becomes infused with supreme longing and prays for direct audience with the Lord, Sakshat Darshan. From the attributes of that prayerful longing arises ecstatic loving service, prema bhakti, which demonstrates the supreme rarity of Sakshat Darshan. This prema bhakti is verily the only means for attaining his darshan. First, establishing this as a fact, prayer is then offered to him, or else if one does receive his vision but once, his mind is unsatisfied. And due to not seeing him the very next second, the agony of separation sets in. Holding an apprehension like this, which perpetually brings the Lord under one's sway, is a feature of Prem Bhakti, which is the one and only means of maintaining such a condition. This being declared the case, then how could it possibly accomplished by such an utmost offender like me? The answer to this concern is that Sri Bhagwan's quality of Bhakt Vasalya, affection for his devotees, makes the impossible quite possible. In order to resolve this for certain, the proposal of moksha is again rejected here in the seventh verse, beginning with Kuverat Majau, that the prayer is made purely for attaining Prema Bhakti. The words Bada Bhritya indicate that his Sri Vigraha, divine bodily form, was bound with ropes tied to the grounding motor by Mother Yashoda. By that Sri Vigraha, he liberated the two sons of Kuvera. Thus, by dragging the motor between the two trees known as Jabal Arjuna, Bhagwan personally demonstrates the supreme fortune that comes in the form of Sakshat Darshan, seeing his form, personally touching his form, and so forth, which are integral attributes of his supremely beautiful pastimes. Even though he himself was tied up, now it is described how he liberated Nalkuver and Manigriva. The word Mochito denotes that they were liberated not just from the curse of Shinarada, but from samsara, the material world, as well. They were not awarded with Kevalam or impersonal liberation or merging into his all pervading effulgence, but it is definitely stated that they were gifted with Prema Bhakti. These two boys are described as Bhakti Bhajav. They took shelter of Bhakti as a supreme goal. Those who cannot give up the shelter of devotion in any way, shape, or form are called Bhakti Bhajam. Krishna personally transformed them in this way. Thus, it is the intention of the author to specifically declare that not only were they liberated, but they were also awarded with Prema Bhakti. In this regard, the Lord has declared to these two boys in the Bhagavatam itself, 10th canto, 10th chapter, verse number 42. The sprout of Prema for me, which was your most supremely cherished goal, has now fully arisen in both of you. From this ecstatic mood, you will never take birth in the material world again. So Sanatan Goswami has elucidated this upon this verse in his own commentary on the Bhagavatam. The purport is the word Vam, you too, indicates that Lord Krishna was addressing the two boys. Firstly, the most desired thing you have prayed for is Parama Bhav, and you both have fully developed this praying for me. Therefore, you will never again experience Bhav, the repeated birth and death in the material world, nor will you feel the misery of samsara even while living here. Then he, Damodar Tata, just like that, Swakam, the exclusive shelter, Ashray, of your own lotus feet, or else the exclusive objective, Vishay, of such a beautiful form of yours, namely Prem Bhakti, me unto me, Pracha, please bestow it unto me in that most lavish way. Yacha means please give, and the prefix pra indicates prakarshena or with profusion or intensity. Verily, it is just like Lord Krishna is saying, oh hey, why are you so enthusiastic from Prem Bhakti? Just accept liberation, like the two sons of Kuvera, whereby the miseries of birth and death in the material world are finished. To that, the answer remains the same. Neti, no, thank you. Other than here, this gold named Prem Bhakti, Namoksha Gramvasti Damodar, I have no eagerness for any other type of liberation. O Damodar, the purport is that one may think if the samsara is destroyed by engaging prem bhakti, let it be. Or if prem bhakti does not destroy the samsara, then let me not develop it. I truly have no inclination for either mentality. The confidential mode is thus: if a chintamani lies in the hand, in the palm of your hand, then all activities you undertake will be perfect. Therefore, what is the value of grasping a tiny insignificant thing like moksha? Or else the phrase "Hey Damodar, prem bhakti swakam me prayacha" means this Bhagwan's belly is bound with ropes. So from him one prays for prem bhakti in order to perpetually bind his belly. The eagerness for this respiration makes it actually possible. Apprehending such, the prayer continues, Namoksha Graha, etc., wherein the alarmed devotee offers, do I not have eagerness for you to become liberated from the ropes? The purport is, yes, I certainly care. This is precisely the meaning. But all I want from you in your bound up form is that you bestow my most cherished benediction of Prem Bhakti. Or else, yet another meaning is the word here indicates please bestow Prem Bhakti here in Vrindavan. This intention also follows. To interpret further, one prays thus because Sri Vrindavan is the exclusive agent for the arising of Prem Bhakti's unique happiness. Also, only in Sri Vrindavan Sri Krishna appears, especially appears. Also, the attributes of his Sakshat Darshan are found there in that form, with his belly bound. And further, one prays for perpetual residence in Vrindavan because only there does Sri Bhagwan desire to especially manifest as the enjoyer of the forest Vrindavan Bihari. All this is additionally evident. Further details of these topics could be ascertained as we have been doing herein. So the commentary or to the seventh verse also is completed. Now the last verse. Namaste studamne spuraditidamne Tvadiyodharaya vishwasya damne Namo radhikaya tvadiya priyaya Namo nandaliraya devaya tobhyam. Translation: O Lord, the entire universe was created by Brahma, who was born from your abdomen, which was bound by a rope by Mother Yashoda. To this rope, I offer my humble obeisances. I offer my obeisances to your most beloved Srimati Radharani and to your unlimited pastimes. So now the glories of Radharani is also revealed by Sri Sanatana Goswami. Now, at the conclusion of the prayer, in order to summarize the presentation of topics that are being prayed for, and also to arouse the attributes of bhakti, obeisances are given separately unto Bhagwan's unique binding, bodily limbs, associates, and so on in the verse beginning with Namastestu. It is stated that Damne Namastu. I bow to the Mahapash, the magnificent rope that binds your belly. What is this grand rope like? It is Puranta Dipti Dhamna, the source or shelter of splendorous effulgence. In this regard, it is suggested by the author that such a Mahapash is the very abode of endlessly radiant concentrated Brahmatej or all pervading Brahman effulgence. After that, Tvadiya Udara Namastu, I bow to your belly. The reason for this is because while bound with ropes, you especially manifest the beauty and other qualities of your belly, as well as glorious characteristics of Vatsalya Lila and other pastimes. What is that belly like? It is stated Vishwasya Dhamne. That belly is a support for all the universes in creation, including all the stationary and moving beings contained therein. From the lotus navel on his abdomen has sprouted a gigantic lotus flower that sustains the 14 worlds. Additionally, during his childhood pastimes in Vrindavan, he bodily displayed the Vishwaroop or universal form to his mother on two occasions. This is another indication. Therefore, in such a pastime of binding him by the waist, Mother Yashoda bound up the whole universe. Indeed, she brought the entire creation under her control. This is the proclamation. It is never possible to factually bind the all-pervading, limitlessly potent Lord, who is Isha, the supreme controller, but he willingly accepts binding as an attribute of his super excellent affection for his devotees, Bhakta Vatsala Vishesh. And by that acceptance of binding, we are informed that such pastimes are imperceptible to all the logic and reasoning available within all the material universes. This is an intimation of the Aishwarya Vishesh or attributes of majesty. The reason for offering obeisances first unto the rope and then unto the Lord's belly, rope dam and belly udar, is because the rope is situated on his belly. Or furthermore, to indicate the ascending superiority in the significance of different things. Respects are first offered to the rope, then to his belly. Now, Namo Radhikaya, obeisances are offered unto his beloved, Bhagwati Sri Radhika. This is done in order to show that the mercy of his beloved enables one to fully attain the desired objective, including objectives that are even beyond the range of desire. By offering obeisances unto Radhika, it is implied that obeisances are also being offered unto all the gopis. Or else, since Radhika is the foremost of them all, obeisances are offered only to her. The word Radhika is used here to denote the attributes and excellence of one who is always engaged in Bhagwan's Aradhana or worship, arranging only for his pleasure. This is the purpose of using a specific name, Radhika, in this text. Therefore, Tvadiya Priyaya, obeisances unto your beloved, or else this name Radhika indicates Rudhi. In grammatical terms, it is capable of conveying a meaning not supported by derivation. Therefore, regardless of her aradhana or worship of you, she is still your eternally dearmost beloved, Nitya Priya. In this connection also, the word Tvadiya indicates that not only is she dear to yourself, but to all your devotees as well. What more then could be said about how dear she is to you? Additionally, this statement implies that you are also her Nitya Priya, eternally dear beloved. By such, the excellence of Radhika's love for Shri Krishna, Prem Vishesh, is suggested. This, the word Priya Nama in this verse can either mean my obeisances unto you, Radhika's beloved, or my obeisances unto Radhika, your beloved. Whoever is beloved to you, such a person is certainly worshipable for the entire universe. Therefore, since Radhika is your own dearmost beloved, namastu, I bow before her. And finally, at the conclusion of the prayer, the author desires to describe the supreme excellence, supreme super excellence of the Raslila and other transcendental pastimes that Krishna performs with Srimati Radharani. But since these are the topmost of confidential topics, they are not mentioned directly. The logic of Madhurena Samapayet, all undertakings should be completed sweetly, applies here. Therefore, such confidential pastimes are referred to only by a mere dint as they are offered obeisances with the words Namo Ananta Leelaya, obeisances unto your limitless pastimes. The word Devaya indicates that obeisances are offered unto Bhagwan, who is Lokatar, supernatural, divine, transcendental. With this, it is intimidated that by Damodar Krishna's divinely supernatural quality, that all the leelas performed by him are also similarly transcendental. Or else, it could also be interpreted to mean my obeisances unto you who are continuously engaged in the pastimes along with Radharani. Therefore, Ananta Leela Tubhyam Namaha, I offer my referring obeisances to you who are thus performing limitless pastimes. By the words Ananta Leela, it is suggested to include all the pastimes associated with the realm of Golok Vrindavan, Gokul Vrindavan. For my obeisances unto all those Leelas, such a mood is most certainly expressed in this verse. And thus ends the Sanatan Goswami's Digdarshan Tika on the 8th slok of Shri Damodar Ashtakam. All right. So with this, we have completed the commentary of Srila Sanatan Goswami on Damodar Ashtakam. And yeah, one thing is I just wanted to add is that especially for the devotees who are connected to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Gaudiya Vaishnava devotees. So they are, of course, they have more affection for Srimati Radharani because for us, our foremost worshipable object is Srimati Radharani. So uh, that's why ultimately this entire pastime glorifies Srimati Radharani. Although it is Yashoda Damodar, but actually it is glorifying Srimati Radharani. And I will also share why it is like that. So for us devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we worship Radharani with Krishna. I mean, of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has emphasized Madhurya Ras, and he's also distributing Madhurya Ras to everyone. Along with that, of course, he's distributing the other rasas also. But his emphasis is on Madhurya Ras. And that's why Radha Damodar, it is called as Radha Damodar, although we are having the pastime of Vishwada Damodar and we are reciting the pastime of Vishwada Damodar. But actually, this pastime happened originally with Srimati Radharani. Radharani is the one who actually tied Krishna. So this is also described by our acharyas. And um, Krishna also narrates to Srimati Radharani that in future I will have this similar pastime with Yashoda Maya. So in one sense, I felt I had this realization that although the original pastime happened with Srimati Radharani, but Radharani gave the entire credit to Yashoda Maya. So that way also it is revealing the glories of Radharani's extreme compassionate nature. And Radharani also wants to, I mean, she also has the mood that everyone is better than me. So what to speak of Yashoda Maya? So of course, the glory of Yashoda Maya's Mahabhav feelings for Krishna has been manifested in this Damodar Leela. But again, if you go through the entire Damodar Ashtakam, you also see how at the end, of course, it is concluded by Sanatana Goswami also states that finally, if you want to fulfill the desires, your desires, or your all of your desires, then just by remembering Radharani and by glorifying Radharani, you can achieve whatever you like to desire. Right? So basically, the meaning is that okay, I am trying to pray to Krishna that give me prem bhakti and give me the prem bhakti of the Vrajvasis. But in case, even if the Lord is not convinced, right, or if he is not satisfied with my prayers, then by invoking Radharani, because Krishna never denies whatever Radharani recommends to him, and whoever Radharani will recommend to Krishna, Krishna will never, he will never reject whatever Radharani says or recommends. So that's why, in order, what I will do is, I will at the end I will invoke Srimati Radharani. So ultimately, Krishna has to accept my prayer, he will not reject it. So this is the meaning, right? Another point is that uh, the rope. Now, actually, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they are Rasik Vaishnavas, and they see everything in the context of Radha and Krishna's Leela. So they also mention that the rope that bound Krishna, because as you are aware that Yashoda tried many different ropes. She kept on tying and making knots on different ropes, and she was able to bind Krishna. But we know that whenever she tried to do it, it was coming 2 fingers too short, right? And our acharyas, they have given the reason because it is representative of our devotees' desire or their efforts. And finally, Krishna's mercy. These two must be there so that Krishna will be wound by prema, right? But one of the acharyas, they also mentioned that um, the last rope that Yashoda Maya used, that was the same rope. It was the same rope that was used by Radharani to tie Krishna when that Leela happened. So because of that, it was tied up. The Krishna allowed himself to be tied up by that rope. Or otherwise, you can also say that the last rope that actually tied Krishna, it was also the manifestation of Radharani's love. And because no one can tie Krishna except Radharani, this is how Gaudiya Vaishnavas they always think of Radharani's presence, involvement in all the pastimes of the Lord. So they have a rustic angle to everything, and this is how they explain the entire pastime. So of course, there are many insights, commentaries to the details of the pastimes. In our, I think, the last year and last year, we have shared about these commentaries of the acharyas. So now I just wanted to give some synopsis of some of the commentaries. Yeah, but this is how we are concluding with Sanatana Goswami's commentary on Damodar Ashtakam. Okay. All right. So I would ask if devotees first, if other devotees they have any comments other than Rupini Padma Mataji and Partha Prabhuji, because I think they have more comments. So if any other devotees they have comments or questions, they can ask first, and then later we can. I request Partha Prabhuji and Rupini Padma Mataji to share their comments if they have any. So any other devotees you have any comments?
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhuji, I was just requesting if other devotees can get chance, and later on I will come to you and Rupini Padma Mataji. So if that is okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Geeta. Thank you very much for your very, very inspiring class. Yes, you mentioned that Lord Krishna gave the maximum liberation to people during his Leela. What about Lord Rama?
Well, I think you know the answer to this. So what happened to Kumbhakarna and Ravana? Did they attain liberation?
I'm not sure about that.
Well,
I know
think,
about Shabri, that she got liberated.
no. So okay, I think you are confusing devotees and demons. So the acharyas they say that even demons are liberated by Krishna. Devotees, so anyways, they are liberated by any form of the Lord. Okay, but here we are talking about demons. So are demons liberated by any other form of the Lord? That is the question.
I'm not sure about that, Prabhuji.
Well, okay. In their next incarnation, they came as Shishupal and Dantavakra, right? You know this.
Yes.
Yeah, so you know that they were not liberated.
Right. That's right.
Yeah? And Hiranyakashipu, they came as Kumbhakarna and Ravan in their next life. So see, basically what happens is, whenever other forms of the Lord they kill the demons, they attain some kind of opulence in the next life. So they are also attaining something, some benefit by being directly killed by the Lord. But only Krishna is the one who can actually liberate them finally. So you'll see that Dantavakra Shishupal, finally they attained liberation. Now, Srila Jiva Goswami, he says that this particular Dantavakra Shishupal, so we know about the Jay and Vijay, that that's how they actually became. They came in three forms during Narasimhadev, Lord Ram, and Krishna. In these three incarnations they came, and finally they were killed by Krishna and they attained their original Swarup, right?
Right.
So so the externally it seemed that they merged into the body of Krishna, they attained liberation, but then finally they attained their Swarupa because they were Jay and Vijay, right?
Right.
So Jiva Goswami says that this happens only once. It does not repeatedly happens. Okay, which means that because we know that there is in one day of Brahma, Krishna appears in one day of Brahma. Each day of Brahma, Krishna appears once in a day of Brahma, right? So in the 14 Manvantar period, the 7th Manvantar, Krishna appears. And other Dwapar Yugas, Krishna is not appearing. Krishna is only appearing in once in the thousands of the Dwapar Yugas that are coming. Okay, so in the other 999 Dwapar Yugas, it is not Krishna, it is some other form of God. It is some expansion of the Lord. So similarly, Jay and Vijay, they are not coming down in other Dwapar Yugas or in other, yeah. So these are jivas who become envious of the Lord because by their karmas, and they attain that post or the position of these demons. Okay, so this happens only sometimes, which basically there are, see, in Brahma lives for 100 years, so there are in 1 year there are 365 days of Brahma, and 365 days Krishna will appear, right, in 1 year of Brahma. But Jay and Vijay will not appear in all these 365 days. They will appear only sometimes, like that. But in other kalpas, these are some jivas who take the role of the demons. So finally, when Krishna will kill these jivas, they will attain liberation. I mean, they will attain Sayuja Mukti, which means they merge in the body of Krishna, or they merge in the effulgence of Krishna's body, like that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Also in Mahabharata, I wanted to ask you, they said that everybody in Kurukshetra who fought the war, they got liberated. Is that right, Prabhuji?
Exactly. Yeah. So actually, whoever was there in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, whoever saw the Lord, they attained their original Swarup. This is the Praman from the Srimad Bhagvatam. Bhishma Dev is speaking this verse. So what does that mean? Now, what destination do they attain? It is explained by Srila Prabhupada I think in that verse purport, or maybe some other purport. Prabhupada says that so there are two cases possible. One is that when one saw the Lord in his form, in his original form as Krishna, so they developed appreciation for his form. So those who developed appreciation or favorable feelings or symptoms for the Lord, these enemies or demons, they attained Vaikuntha. And those who did not develop these kind of feelings, they had maintained their enmity for the Lord. But when they just saw the Lord, because they had neutral feelings for the Lord, so they attained Sayuja Mukti. So Krishna awards Sayuja Mukti to the demons, or he may attain, he may bestow Vaikuntha or his own award Golok Vrindavan. Like for example, to Putana, he bestowed her Golok Vrindavan, right? So depending on one's bhav at the time of death, one's feeling for the Lord, Krishna, he will give them different destinations. So that's why it is rightly said, Ye yatamam prapadante tam tadaiva bhajamiyam. As you surrender, I reward you accordingly. Like that.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare
No
Krishna.
problem. Okay. Any other devotees?
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, always Sri Prabhupada.
Yes, Dhammaparam. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Nice to hear about the meanings and purports and Acharya commentaries on Damodar Ashtakam. I was also thinking that the contemplation or meditation on the dust of whose lotus feet gives liberation from bondage is bound by the ropes of love. So I mean, it is so contrast. I mean, if I was trying to pull these two ends together, one side is the threefold people in the threefold miseries trying to meditate upon Krishna's lotus feet and trying to get liberation and from bondage, and that Lord is bound by the devotee's love, and yet that devotee doesn't want liberation. He wants, I mean, liberation in the form of Sayuja Mukti, but wants to serve Krishna perpetually, or as Satyavrata Muni is saying, remember him all the time. So I also had a question, like, is this Satyavrata Muni, is he the same Satyavrata Muni of the Matsya avatar?
Sorry, what is the question?
Matsya avatar, there's Satyavrata Muni, right? Who put the
Yeah.
Same Satyavrata Muni?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yes, it is so nice. So so this is it's in the Vatsalya Ras, or is it in the it's a Vatsalya Ras, right?
I think the prayers by Satyavrata Muni, they reflect Dasya Bhav. I think somewhere I have read that he's designing Dasya Bhav.
Dasya, okay. But he okay. Yeah, I mean, Vatsalya Rasa also has a Dasya Ras in it, because Dasya Ras is the foundation.
Yeah. In fact, all the above rasas, they have the other lower rasas also.
Yeah. Yes. So nice. So yeah, thank you for taking us through the commentaries of the acharyas. And,
Yeah, it's all their glories. We are just trying to, like a postman, we are just sharing it. So they have written brilliant commentaries on Damodar Ashtakam.
yes. No, I mean, your session is so much valued because you have access to such. You have access and realize this the commentaries because they themselves are tremendous task. Wonderful, Prabhu. There you are.
It's all the mercy of our Guru Parampara, nothing else. They have given us everything ready to eat. We just have to eat and relish. Okay. All right. Any other devotees? Do you have any comments or questions? Yeah. Rupini Padmavati. Okay. So I don't know if she's there or not, or if she has any comments. So should we stop here? Okay. All right. So thank you so much, all the devotees, for joining in and giving me the wonderful opportunity to speak on the Damodar Ashtakam and share the commentary of Srila Sanatana Goswami. So I'm very fortunate to do that. Thank you so much for that.
Vancha kalpataruvaisya kripa sindhureva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo Antakati Vishnu Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Namaste Thakur ki jai.
Jai.
Gautam ki jai.
Jai.
Ki jai.
Jai.
Sanatana
Prabhupada ki jai.
Goswami
Shri Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
His Grace Premarasa Prabhuji ki
Krishna
jai.
Vrinda ki
Jai.
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 Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.